the first half. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! By Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now.
McGrath for the win. He got it. If you don't like college football and you watch this one, I'm not sure what your problem is.
Ready to do and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Thursday, June 12th. Tennessee's baseball season is officially over. Sad day. Hate it. But guess what? It's kind of like football where you just kind of get right into the off season and it's like reload time. So we're looking forward to transfer portal. We got some news on some guys that are visiting. We got a commit. And some guys that Tennessee is interested in that we'll talk about later on in the show. First, we're going to put a wrap or a little bow on this episode, yeah, see you guys, on the season and how Tennessee baseball finished out and what kind of season we thought that they had. Was it disappointing? Was it respectable? Was it disappointing at times? A lot of stuff like that we're going to give our thoughts on. First, before we get into everything, I do want to mention our good friends at VIP Play. If you get a chance, you want to gamble a little bit, dip on over to VIP Play. Use promo code MORETN, again, MORETN, and you bet $5, just $5, you'll get $100 in bonus bets. They just have great profit boosts over there. Really entertaining stuff. We had a bet the other day. It hit. No big deal. So they got a lot of stuff going on. So you need to go check them out. Again, use that promo code MORETN. Get $100 in bonus bets after you bet just $5. Gambling problem. Call 1-800-889-9789. You must be 21 and over and located in Tennessee to bet. Go check them out.
Yeah,
all right, Joey.
Parlays 1-0, undefeated, hasn't lost,
never lost
all season, didn't lose.
Yeah. Caleb is on sabbatical. He is on the beaches somewhere in South Carolina, probably on a golf course. I don't know what he's doing actually, but he's not here. Joey's gonna fill in for him. Yeah, you got big shoes to fill, Joey.
Yeah, man, I haven't been on here in a while. You've
been traveling the world too. You've been on beaches, probably golf courses.
I mean, I was on Guani on Tuesday. Does that count?
That does count. Yeah.
Over here in Knoxville, though, I ain't no South Carolina. You were just down in Destin too. I don't want to hear it. Y'all are all vacationing.
Yeah, we're. I mean, can't hide money, 30A on a yacht.
Crab Island, big Crab Island guy.
Oh yeah. It was funny. We were on the boat and we went to Crab Island, but like being on like a big boat, you can't obviously like get to where like everybody's at.
Yeah.
So, but it was nice. It was nice to like be part of it, but be far enough away where I didn't have to deal with all that.
Yeah, that's true. I'm telling you though, the actual sandbar, dude, you get a couple drinks in you and you're just like the height where you can like float, but your knees kind of drag. And so you're just kind of your little floaty on and you're just kind of scoot over to a different bar or a little whatever money. But
nothing
yeah,
like
it's been a while since I've been behind the booth for live shows, but I ain't seen y'all in a while. So
yeah, how's it going? Everything good?
Straight, full-time worker
good?
Now, college graduate, so life sucks.
Dang,
that's all right.
You're getting old.
I think I am old.
We've seen you grow up before our eyes.
Yeah, dude, we should do a flashback to my first episode. It was I just saw a screenshot last week. I think it was like episode 300 something. So we're at 665. So
okay,
been hell though.
Yeah, the next one's going to be tough. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that now.
Tomorrow's Friday the 13th, so yeah, let's definitely wait till Sunday.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's get into it. Tennessee baseball gets swept in the Super Regionals to Arkansas on the road. And it's a weird feeling because like you were on such a high after that regional win against Wake Forest on Monday night. And then you start against this Arkansas series that had it's got some history. You know, obviously Tony was there. You know, they call themselves the Omahogs, and it's laughable, and just anything to do with Fayetteville, Arkansas is just terrible. But this was a big series, two really good programs going at it, and it just kind of stinks that Tennessee didn't have their best team to go play probably the best team in Arkansas, and it just didn't happen. I mean, the bats weren't there either game. Pitching wasn't phenomenal, but it didn't matter how well you pitched because you couldn't do anything at the plate really until the ninth inning. Apparently, is when we want to start hitting home runs. Yeah, it was just tough. I mean, your starting outfield had one hit total in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, that's actually insane.
It's tough to come back from. And with that being your 3, 4, and 6 hole hitters, like that's hard to overcome. And as disappointing as the Supers were, I don't think it's a disappointing season. And here's why. Because let's go back to 2024. You win a national championship, what happens? Totally new team.
Purge.
I mean, everybody's gone. Your starting rotation's gone. Whole lineup is obliterated. The only guy that returns is Hunter Inslee and Dean Curley. And those two guys were supposed to be your two best players, and they were kind of up and down at times. And I think as talented as this team was, they just could not put it all together. They couldn't overcome a defensive breakdown. They couldn't overcome a bad pitching outing. They couldn't overcome when the bats were cold. Like teams before that, they'd figure out how to win a little bit. This team just started off hot, and everybody thought okay, we just reloaded, we're good. And I think that was a little bit of fool's gold a little bit when we got into SEC play. You know, we won those first couple of series, and then just nothing. Like this team could just not get out of its own way. But I do think it was a good enough season where you make it back to super regionals, and you're looking at 5 straight super regionals, and you're like, okay, that's really good. That's awesome. And I think if you look at it as a down year in terms of those last 5 years, I think it tells you exactly where that program's at. Making it to a super regional. It's the 8th, I think a top 8. I think Will Heflin said this on a podcast I was listening to. It's the top 8 season in Tennessee baseball history, but it doesn't feel like it because of the success that the program has had recently. And so I just think it's a successful season to recover from winning a national championship. Usually teams, the past couple of teams haven't made the tournament. LSU probably shouldn't have made the tournament last year after they won it. But they made a run in Hoover and made a regional, lost in it. But Tennessee's the first team recently, after COVID to make a super regional and win their region after winning the national championship the year prior. So I do think it was successful. I don't want to overlook Liam Doyle, what he did, Andrew Fisher, what he did, because I think there was a ton of great stuff that happened this season. It just stinks that the way you ended SEC play, you thought you kind of found your footing a little bit, and you just ran into a buzzsaw in Arkansas in the Supers.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give credit to Arkansas. It was probably the hottest team that you're going to see. Maybe not hottest, but skill-wise, those guys are, playing their ass off. So give them credit where it's due. But I think that there's a lot of teams that Tennessee would have slipped up to. Tony kind of touched on it earlier in the season when we kind of were living on this high of returning. It's obviously a championship hangover is a pain in the ass. So bouncing back from that is never easy, no matter the sport. but especially in baseball, when you lose that much talent like that, dude, it's so hard to bounce back. So, I mean, it was easy to ride the highs in the beginning of the season, but even Tony was like, hey, this is team on paper and on the roster is just not as good as last year's team. So we know that we have to work with them. Getting into conference play after the first couple series, we saw that. What did we lose? 7 of our last 8 conference series?
6 of the last 7, yeah.
6 of the last 7. So, I mean, just clearly not the kind of team that consistently is dominant throughout the season. You found wins when you once in a series, but we talked about it a couple weeks ago. It was one of those where, I mean, unless you just get red hot, it's going to be absolutely brutal. So playing against Arkansas, unless we would have literally had to go out there and play absolutely perfect. And, some aspects of it were. And I think the regional, I mean, that was a great moment inside Lindsey Nelson. Wake Forest, takes game 2. And so, you got the rubber match. And I don't know, maybe some of that energy played into the fact that you knew that this team wasn't as strong like last year. So you just felt like you were kind of on a miracle run, because it really wasn't supposed to happen based on how you were playing the latter half of that season. Obviously, the win over Texas and SEC gets you a regional, and then things just kind of played out. So it kind of felt like a little bit of magic was happening. But to go up against that Arkansas team, you had to play absolutely perfect. And some aspects were great, but we were far from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I mean, there was a ton of talent. Like, you have probably 5 guys going to be drafted in the first 3 rounds. You have Doyle, you have Keelan, Fisher, Curley is probably going to be up there. Marcus Phillips is probably going to be up there. Like, I mean, 5 really talented guys. And that's not to even mention a Nate Snead, a Tanner Franklin, AJ Russell, Brandon Arvidson, Reese Chapman's another guy. Cannon Peoples probably gets drafted. So just a ton of talent on this team. And when you're looking at the teams in Omaha, and it kind of makes me sick a little bit, is, I mean, Tennessee's the 3rd most talented team in Omaha if they make it. They just ran into Arkansas. And it's to no fault but their own. You win some series, you're hosting a super if you make it that far, and you're probably sitting here in Omaha. But you lost those series, you couldn't win a rubber match to save your life, and here you are. But as bad as it was at times, like, I mean, Hunter Inslee being like the 3-hole hitter and taking on that role and being really good up until like the postseason was awesome to see. All these freshmen, I mean, that's what gives you so much hope, is like, hey man, we're really good. The problem was we had a lot of freshmen playing that, we expect them to be really good players in the SEC, and that's just hard to do. I mean, even Blake Burke and Christian Moore, like, they had their moments in SEC play, but they were role players. They weren't expected to start every day. Manny Marin, I mean, that guy started basically every day. Levi Clark started in the lineup basically every day. I mean, Jay Abernathy, Chris Newstrom, like all those guys, Tegan Coons, Braden Krenzel, all those guys are super talented and going to be really good for Tennessee as long as they stay here. But it's just like you expect them to be like they had to be, really good. And they couldn't just be behind the scenes guys like Christian Moore and Blake Burke and show out when they could. Like that, there was a lot of pressure on those guys to produce and be good. And some of them were, and they had their ups and downs. And I just think there wasn't enough. Like, even though the roster was really talented, there just wasn't enough in that lineup to overcome some things. And then you match that up with, like, the bullpen was shaky. You didn't have AJ Russell like you thought you might get early in the season. He just was never that, like, third start. You didn't have a third starter, really. Tegan Coons was part of that, and he didn't even pitch in the postseason. So, I mean, that was kind of tough to see. Maybe he ran a little bit into a freshman wall, but overall pretty decent season for a freshman. And the situational hitting, like that's where you got beat this season. Like, you couldn't get out of your own way. Like, every time there was an opportunity for you to score runs, you didn't. And it seemed like every team we faced, was in those same kind of moments, and it just went the other way for Tennessee. Like it just, I mean, you look at the perfect example is that Sunday game. Is Tennessee has bases loaded, no outs, grounds into a double
It's
play.
one run, yeah.
Yeah.
You just
Like
can't do
that.
that. Though. That's where against Wake Forest, you saw what we put 7 runs up in the 4th inning or something like that. Like,
Yep.
that's that old school Tennessee baseball style last year that got you far because when you had moments, you capitalized on them. Bases loaded, no outs, and you walk away with 2 outs and 1 run scored. You should have been able to walk out of that with 4 runs at least, just if you're going to be, really juicy against that Arkansas team. So just a tough spot to be in. So I mean, definitely a brutal play out the way it happened. And you're right. I mean, you can't really overlook it because if you single out this season with the talent, with the freshmen, you're expecting a heavily new and freshman team to basically take the reins from a massively talented team and run them back to the same, run them back to Omaha, which is just a task that is, we talked about in the offseason. That's such a grand task. And the fact that you even did get a super regional out of it when 2 weeks before we would have been like, we might not even be hosting a regional. So, you got to spin zone it. You got to look at the bright side. It is easy to kind of, again, have that doom and gloom. It's kind of similar to the football season, right? You make the college football playoff, you go 10-2, you lose to Arkansas when you shouldn't have. So that's a common theme that I hope doesn't continue for too much longer. And then you go get your ass whipped by Ohio State. And it's like so easy for the couple weeks after to be like, well, that was a bum of a season. But then you're like, preseason, if you said we went 10-2 and made the college football playoff, I think we'd be pretty damn happy. So, I don't know.
Isn't that suck? Just the most recent game is kind of how you feel about it, even though maybe not exactly how you feel about it, but those are the emotions that come up as like your most recent memory of. I mean, you just got blown out by Arkansas in the final game. Like that. That's what sucks. If you win the first game and you lose the next 2, and it's close games that are really good matchups, and Tennessee plays well, but Arkansas just squeaks it out, it's probably a little different. But it's just the way that it happened, where you couldn't produce in that moment with bases loaded, 0 outs, to put up crooked numbers. And the very next inning, you have what happened at Arkansas, where they just, I mean, they hit a 84-mile-an-hour exit velocity home run. That was a grand slam. Like that, it just got away from you quick. And woulda, coulda, shoulda. Like, do you keep Liam Doyle in? I mean, looking back, I guess you do.
Yeah.
But in that moment, I don't think anybody was super shocked that he came out at that point. You bring in a freshman, and I think that's a really hard place for a freshman to come in. And I think Braden Krenzel is going to be good. And he gets the SEC Player of the Year in a 1-2 count. And then it just gets away from me from there. So it's tough. I get it. Like there was some frustrating moments, and I think one of those is like just the way the lineup played.
You just weren't strong all the way through. I mean, it's again, that's one of those things that last year you could fall on was even those gap guys. Like someone was going to produce the production between the outfield. Like that stat by itself, you should look at that team and be like, you guys hosted a regional. Like it doesn't seem like it added up, and so we knew that. I mean, obviously, the skill level was with the last 7 series. Like you project it out, and you're like, okay, so this team now needs to go win however many series in a row it would take to win the national championship, or even just to get to Omaha. And having played Arkansas a few weeks prior and just letting that one slip when it really shouldn't have, it was such a mountain that you had to climb. So, but in fairness, you got to give Liam Doyle credit where it's due, because talk about an absolute dog. We got a big old fire truck coming by, so if engine 8 gets a little loud,
fireman coming.
Yeah, come for me. But you got to give him props where it's due. First off, Gavin Keelan, Andrew Fisher, and Liam Doyle all first team All-American perfect game players of the year. So for them to come do that, I mean, stepping up when it mattered, especially Fisher and Doyle, to like come into this place. And I mean, those 2 guys were like your 1-1 for fan. And I'm just getting the guys hyped up. People loved them. They left their mark on Tennessee. To come do that is pretty special. So, I mean, would never let anybody call the season a failure by any means, especially in those guys' eyes. Again, everyone wants to go further, right? but it could have ended a lot worse. You squeezed a little bit more out of the season at the end, and you just didn't come up when it mattered. And it's how it is.
Only one team gets to enjoy the final game of the season as a win. Only one team.
Yeah. And
so it was going to be disappointing doing a podcast after a baseball season unless you won the whole thing. So
exactly.
That was going to be tough to do. But I think the how Tennessee got there on the backs of Andrew Fisher, Liam Doyle, Gavin Keelan, I think says a lot about how good those players are and how good Tony and the staff can recruit the portal and recruit, freshmen to come in and have a role on such a talented roster. I think that's good to see. And Tony Vitello is just going to reload.
Yeah.
Like you think like, man, I just can't wait to get. I mean, there's nobody in America that's going to work harder to get back to Omaha than Tony Vitello and that staff. I mean, they're already. How many guys they land in the portal? 4 so far.
Yeah,
all pitchers.
Well, all pitchers besides isn't that JUCO guy?
Well, I was talking more of like from college, but JUCO. I mean, they're going to recruit JUCO like crazy. They're going to recruit the portal like crazy. They're going to recruit high school kids like crazy. Like this is going to be another talented roster next season.
Yeah,
I hope everybody stays, but I mean, it's we say it's not disappointing, but no one in that program is satisfied with what just happened.
God no, and that's like Tony's standard is he'll look at that season as a letdown. But like you said, that was Tennessee's 8th best season ever. And he's been here for 7 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's just like a testament to, feeling like that was a, kind of ending to the season and just kind of maybe a B season overall. For that to be the new letdown, I think puts you in a really good spot. And I mean, I know we're going to talk about, recruits and transfers and recruiting and everything in a minute, but you might want to check on that. It's the standard around Tennessee now for baseball. So, I mean, you really can't be let down in any facet. And he's about to go tear it up recruiting and in the transfer portal, which now, if you want to find a bright side, got more time to recruit, got more time to get guys in on visits and get some guys here at the program, which is what we've done. And I think it's pretty safe to say that for the next, I guess, however long Tony's here, but this is like a decade-long thing where, I mean, this team's just going to have a new standard, and I think it's gonna be a good time. If a super regional exit is your down season, then we're heading on a really good trajectory.
Yeah, agreed. Christian Moore did just get called up.
Let's go
by the Angels. So big news for the VFL.
Breaking news. We're always breaking news on the show, people.
And there you go.
We knew he wasn't gonna be down there long. So no surprise absolutely whatsoever on that end, but good for him. Speaking of guys that are just absolute dogs, Simo, absolute dog. We got to get him back on the show.
Friend of the pod.
His friend of the pod. But yeah, we're going to have some more. We're going to get some good baseball insight this off season. So y'all stay tuned. We're going to get some guys on the show. We're going to get some insider access. We're going to keep you busy with baseball news all off season. And I mean, June 12th, football's coming up here in 2 months and some change.
I know.
That's the great thing about being an everything school. Poor Kentucky just kind of sits around until basketball season pops up. You get 10 active months down here. And sometimes you need a break. It's summer. Go hit the lake. Go fish. Go enjoy yourself. Don't worry about sports for, 1 week. God forbid.
It is really cool to, be able to – I mean, used to. It was like, oh, well, I guess we'll wait around until we were kind of that way for a little bit where football was terrible, baseball was bad. So we're just like, well, maybe basketball will be a little bit better. Maybe.
We can only enjoy it because we've been where Kentucky. We've been there before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sitting here throwing stuff. I mean, we were in the same spot. I was telling my my little stepbrother's coming to Tennessee, and he was here between here and Penn State, and big athletics guy. So I'm like, look, you go see what they're doing up in Penn State in March. All right, ain't much. Ain't no baseball going on. Ain't no Big Ten basketball runs. You're just sitting there messing around until football season comes up. And when you do, it's 32 degrees. So pretty simple. UT Athletics is on a good trajectory. Baseball program is going to be fine. Everything's going to be great. We're going to be back and better. I think next, obviously we still got all off season to talk about it, but I'd be curious to see your grade for the season, and then as well as kind of extremely early outlooks to next season. Like you said, we're not done with the transfer portal. We're not done with recruits. We're not, well, at least finalizing, your rosters or anything. So we'll kind of see how that molds as time goes on.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's give a grade for this season. What were your kind of thoughts?
It's either a strong. See, this is where it's like, okay, 8th best, like program history, A-, to what feels like should be the standard, B+. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying B+. I think A- is a little too favorable, but then you got to think like, still, you lost in supers against a red hot Arkansas team. Like you said, you get the right matchup, you're probably in Omaha right now, getting ready to play this weekend. So I don't know. I guess I'll go with B+, but you can't look at that and be like, oh, damn, a B, but I think a B+ is all great.
Yeah, I would probably go B or B+. I think that's where I'm at. Like, you got to look at how difficult it is to win a national championship. Obviously, in this sport is incredibly difficult. Tennessee's probably most talented team in 2022. 2024 is really good too. I would like to see them to play in a series and see who wins. But 2022, like, that team made it as far as this team did. That 2023 season where, you had Maui Ahuna and like that was looked at as like, it just wasn't what we thought it was.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the same thing. That 2022 team probably should have won a national championship. And then we have that 2023 season that's probably expected. But you wanted to reload after that season after it went down. But it's just incredibly difficult and you got to be hot at the right time. You got to have, the matchups got to work out in your favor. You got to have some luck for you. And it just didn't go Tennessee's way this year. Yeah. Nothing went Tennessee's way. You started from the beginning of the season with the Osuna thing. I know that's not really luck, but everything says like that was going to be a no-brainer. He was going to be eligible, and it never happened. And I think that probably took a toll a little bit on Tony Vitello. I don't know that for sure. I'm just like, he loves his players so damn much. And I think he kind of took responsibility. I was like, okay, that's probably my bad for, even making that call to get him up here. Because looking at it from Osuna's perspective is, and like he doesn't think about it this way, but he was at the University of Tampa. They won a national championship. And you got to look at it now. It's just like, I didn't even get to play.
Yeah, that's definitely like a kind of a sad way to look at it. But you're right. Like, Tony probably put that on himself because it's like, he does care about those kids so much that it's tough to see a guy that comes to a team with not only with so much promise himself, but a team that coming off a national championship naturally just has a lot of promise. So, you know how we feel about the NCAA for all that. Come square up. But
and then the AJ Russell thing happened. You had, the starting outfield was just as good as those guys were in SEC play. Like Dalton Bargo, I don't hate not going to somebody else because you're probably not hosting a regional if it wasn't for Dalton Bargo. I know you're not. He batted over 300 in SEC play. He was phenomenal. Yeah. But he just didn't have it.
He went one for like 2022.
Wasn't seeing the baseball at all. Hunter Inslee, you weren't going to bench him because he's your guy. So I don't hate Tony just riding with those guys. And it almost was kind of like, why didn't you just ride with Liam Doyle in that last game? But that was probably going to get away from you at some point. It looks like Tennessee just kind of ran out of gas. So I don't hate that. And a lot of guys wanted Cal Stark to be benched at some point in 2024. And guess what? That guy was phenomenal in the NCAA tournament. So I'm okay with riding with your guys that got you there. There's nothing wrong at all with that.
Yeah, I agree. I think putting a bow on the season, it's again, your standards are high now, so that's okay. If this is the new normal, then we live with it. Hell of a season. We appreciate the guys that came in, and again, I mean, Liam Doyle's a madman. I think even in one season, he left a big mark on Tennessee, and then, I mean, for Andrew Fisher to come in and even just in that last little run of the postseason, just get the crowd so fired up and just kind of be the enemy that like we hate, but as Tennessee fans we love. That's like a glue guy of all glue guys. That's the kind of guy that just you could tell till that last pitch, like he wanted that so bad. So the production they came in here with was still unbelievable, and you got to tip your hats to that. And next season we're gonna be firing all cylinders. So
it's hard to talk the talk and walk the walk like Andrew Fisher did this year. I mean, everybody hated him. I mean, opposing coaches were saying bad things about him.
yeah,
I mean, people absolutely hated playing against the guy, but I mean, that's what makes college football awesome. Like the whole Zach Root thing, him like going at Andrew Fisher, like walking off the mound. I don't hate that.
I love it because if it was us, I would be the same way. I would calling him a pee and a sit down and all this stuff. Like, do I hate Arkansas? Yeah. Do their bars close at midnight? Yeah. Is it kind of a weird campus outlook or layout? Yeah.
Yeah.
Does the Woo Pigs suck? Calling the Hogs? Yeah. Does their football in an atmosphere and that stupid ass alarm that goes off before every third down suck? Yeah. But if it was us, I love it. I like the energy. So, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't hate that. I think the problem that everybody else had with it is like Cannon Peoples said something to the opposing pitcher.
Not
like
to mention
his breath and got tossed, and that guy was able to just go insane. But whatever. I mean, that's what happens when you don't have robo umps. Like there's no consistency.
Yeah, dude. But the strike zones, and again, like maybe it's late enough now that complaining about it doesn't just feel like loser's remorse. But I mean, dude, it's just so and both sides. I'm not gonna sit here and say that some of the teams like the other teams in the postseason got shafted too. So I mean, I'm not even sitting here saying Tennessee was the only team that was getting screwed over on strike zones. But something about this season, the umps that we got, it just seemed bad. I don't know. I don't know what the SEC's doing because they felt kind of weird in Hoover. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's good season all the way around. It's time to turn the page, and I think the staff has turned the page, and it's all about next year and who you're getting in the portal. Who do you lose to the draft? Who's coming back? What freshmen are you able to get to campus instead of the draft? Like there's so much kind of going on right after the end of the season. There's really no time to like sit back and reflect or be sad or be excited. I mean, that whole when they won a national championship in 2024 is very much is like, okay, let's get there, we'll do this parade, and then it's replacing the next year. And if you take too much time, somebody else is recruiting those guys.
Yeah.
You don't get back to the super regionals if you don't get right back to it and get guys like Andrew Fisher and Liam Doyle and Gavin Keelan. I mean, getting those guys on campus was huge to get you to where you were at. So props to them. VFLs, love them. Glad we got to, have them for a single season, but it's time to turn the page and, see what next year's is about. And I mean, I think Abernathy's a guy you can watch.
Yeah.
I know we had a question about this, so I'll go ahead and get to it. Who's your breakout player for Tennessee next season? Mine is going to be, I don't know if this is a breakout or it can be, but it's going to be Manny Marin for me.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a guy who started at third base as a true freshman in the SEC. He handles his bat really well. He'd hit so many home runs. Him just a year in a college weight room nutrition program is going to do wonders for that kid. I think he is really good and a really solid defender, but also like handles the bat really well for how small he is. So I'm looking forward to a another year with Manny Marin, wherever he plays in the infield, whether that's at short or second or third. I mean, he's an athlete and going to be a weapon in the SEC for a couple of years.
Yeah, Manny Marin's obviously a dog. I know it's kind of hard to overlook right now, but we got to remember a couple weeks ago we were talking about during conference play how good Dalton Bargo was adapting. I think Tony's quote was basically just a jack of all trades. Like he's never complained. He's supposed to go play a spot and get better at it, and he does. So again, shaky postseason, yeah. But kid's talented. Kid works his ass off. So you got to hope that it's even a better offseason for the kid and comes back full power. And,
Okay. You think he comes back?
I think so.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, that's one of the guys that could come back, but you just never know. Like if you get drafted, he's probably gone because if he doesn't, he lose all of his leverage.
I just didn't think. I mean, I know what's the fucking 17 rounds in the draft.
Yeah, it used to be a ton, but now, yeah, it's not as many.
So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if he is back, then that's fingers crossed. But Jesus,
yeah, 20 rounds.
Okay, so not 17, just 20. That's ridiculous. That's an absurd amount of rounds, but I don't know.
Okay, I like a Bargo. I mean, I think Abernathy's one. I think pitching wise, I really like what I see from Braden Krenzel.
Yeah, that was
against Texas. Going to be another one. Yeah, go ahead.
Was that against Texas that, or who? Never mind, I'm blanking. But yeah, continue. Tegan Coons.
Yeah, I think Braden Krenzel is going to be really good. I think Tegan Coons is another guy that I'd like to see in a starting role. But Braden Krenzel, I think, is going to be a dude for Tennessee next year and probably one of those weekend starters. I don't know who those other guys look like. I think portal-wise, maybe you're looking at a Landon Mack from Rutgers could be one. We'll see what Anson Siebert has next year. He was out this year due to injury. Tegan Coons can throw in there. Dylan Loy could be one. There's just a lot of guys that I'm interested to see kind of what big offseason they have and can earn one of those roles because I think all three of them are wide open right now.
Yeah.
Liam Doyle, when he came here, he was your Friday night.
Yeah. Well, I know you mentioned the Sunday spot earlier. We kind of hoped that at least halfway through the season, we'd kind of cement that. We never really did. Mm-hmm. Obviously with AJ's injury and things came into play again. Obviously you can only predict so much. You can only do so much with what you have. But getting to that spot next year, you have a set rotation that can be consistent. Because I mean, at the end of the day, that comes down to if you can't win series, the pitching is a massive part of that. If you're shaky for 66% or even only 33% of your matchup, you're not going to be able to dominate in series like that. And again, you kind of got lucky this season because you ended up hosting a regional and getting to a super. But if you look at SEC play singled out, the series record's ridiculous. So, I mean, obviously bumping up a Sunday guy and having a full rotation at least suffices you better during conference play. I can't speak for how well the team will make it as a run, but a lot still to be untold.
Yeah. Peyton said Antigua is his. I mean, I would be shocked if Antigua is still here next year, but if he is, I mean, that'd be a good one. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see a Levi Clark,
Yeah.
He had a big run those first couple weekends and then kind of tailed off a little bit and picked it back up toward the end of the season. But, want to see him. I'm interested to see what position he plays because I don't think it's going to be catcher, but where else does he play first? Is he an outfielder?
Can't be first.
I don't know. I don't know where he plays. Abernathy's probably going to be in the outfield somewhere. He's just too good of an athlete not to probably in left or maybe center. He's fast enough to be center. Catcher, I think that's going to be a portal get. I think Cannon Peoples is probably gone, I would say.
Yeah.
So, and I think here's one thing about Cannon Peebles is he had a decent year this year. A
Yeah.
lot of people want to blame him for some things, but I thought he hit over 10 home runs, was solid at the bottom of the lineup, and that's kind of what you're looking for in the catcher. Like, you're not going to get a guy that hits over 300 a whole lot of times in SEC play as a catcher. But like what I saw from him this year, so he's probably gone. So, maybe a Garrett Wright from Bowling Green is a guy that he entered the portal today, and Tennessee's interested. He's in the
I
Cape
saw
Cod
that.
League right now, so he probably won't visit. He'll probably just make a decision where he's going, but hit 389 this year. I think he hit 8 home runs, I think, 40 some RBIs. So he was really solid for Bowling Green team. I think he was the All MAC Defensive Player of the Year. So really good defensive catcher, and obviously has the bat to work with as well. So that'd be a big get. I mean, you're going to add some arms. You've already added some arms. Clay Edmondson, from
Brady Frederick. Oh, sorry.
yeah, UNC Asheville. Brady Frederick. Yeah, that's the guy that you've added recently and from ETSU, who is a dog.
Yeah.
For
Good Bucks.
He was basically their ace out of the bullpen. That's what he was. He pitched as much as like Sean Hunley did back in 2020. When was that? 2021, 2022. I mean, just like every game was throwing for them. Any game that was close, he was going to be there. He had 4 saves this year. He had a 9-2 record, 2.55 ERA. Pitched 81 1/3 innings, had 81 strikeouts, only walked 20 batters, only gave up 23 earned runs. So really solid player. And the kid from Knoxville. So it just made a ton of sense when he entered the portal. Tennessee was going to go after him. But yeah, throws that little funky submarine pitches. So he's got a couple pitches out of that. That's pretty nasty. So I think that bullpen's was a little shaky this year. Didn't kind of know what you're going to get night in and night out. I think they want to shore that up and going to get the SoCon Pitcher of the Year is a good way to start. Clay Edmondson from UNC Asheville, they've already added. The guy from Division III, I can't remember what his name is, and then Bo Ruddy from Kennesaw State that they've added. So they're adding some bullpen arms. Landon Mack is a right-handed pitcher from Rutgers. It was his true freshman season this year. Had a 4.03 ERA, was 6-5 on the year in the Big Ten. And I mean, Rutgers doesn't have a great baseball team, so a lot of that was not his fault. But pitched 80 in the 3rd inning, had 70 strikeouts, 36 earned runs, only walked 17 batters. So it was really good in his freshman year. Only going to get better. I think that's a guy he's visited this weekend, and that's a guy they want to add. Aiden Robbins is a outfielder from Seton Hall. Batted .438 this season. Was really good for the Pirates. Had 5 home runs, 33 RBIs, and only struck out 28 times and 178 at bats. So he was really good. They've had him on a visit. Today they had Jared Advin. I don't know how to say it. Advinkus, I think is maybe how you say it. He was second team.
Avincula.
That's how you say it? Okay.
That's what I'm going with.
I like it.
Avincula.
He batted .342, was second team all ACC, 6 homers, 81 hits, and 237 at bats. Only struck out 29 times. So really good middle infielder from Cal, and they had him on a visit today. So yeah, they're adding some arms. They want to add a catcher, obviously, guys at the top of the lineup that can swing it. They want to add some of those guys as well. It looks like they're going a little bit different approach. Like they want a good mix of power and guys that hit for average.
Yeah, Garrett Wright hitting 389 and Mac. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to get back to. I want someone that's just a guaranteed
more action.
Yeah, bring them, dude. Bring me some Wednesday night action energy into the SEC. I'm all about it. Sign me up. We need those midweek games to get a little more juicy anyway.
That's true. Yeah.
And this guy performs on midweek games, or at least his division or his conference does.
Yeah. Well, you got me fired up. More Maction, baby. That's his new name. If he commits to Tennessee, his name is Maction. I don't care. His name's no longer Garrett Wright. Sorry, that's too basic. I'm all about Maction.
Love it.
Yeah. So yeah, Tennessee's going to continue to hit the portal. I'm sure there's going to be more new names that we see in the coming weeks, but yeah, Tennessee is looking to reload and
got a little bit more time to do it.
And they got boots on the ground to do it too. So they got guys out there recruiting for them all day, every day. Got a couple more questions that we'll go ahead and get to because some of those pertain to baseball. Who's your starting pitchers on the current roster? If you're picking like 3 that are on the current roster, I'll probably go Krenzel, Coons, and I think Clay Edmondson is probably one from UNC Asheville.
Okay.
But if he's not currently on the roster, I guess you probably go Dylan Loy.
Okay.
Or Anson Siebert.
You know better than I do.
Yeah, probably one of those.
Yeah, are you trying?
At least one of those guys is a weekend starter next year.
Yeah, I mean, is there you think obviously it's more about you got to get all your cards in order and see who it is first. But I mean, are we targeting a Sunday guy in the portal, or are we trying to get stronger guy, stronger arm to close out? I mean, what are we lacking in terms of bullpen and pitchers to? Obviously, we don't know yet, so it's kind of more what we're targeting in the portal. But
I mean, you got to have an ace. So who's your ace? Could that be a Landon Mack? Could it be a Braden Krenzel? Tennessee has Mason Estrada, who is the #1 JUCO pitcher. Could he be your guy? He's also a draft risk. So, I don't know. It's one of those things where you got to figure out after
a lot of it's
draft,
hard to tell pre-draft.
Yeah. Then you find out who you have. Matt Barr is another one, I think, from junior college. I think he's the top JUCO pitcher. Sorry, not Mason Estrada. It's Matt Barr. He could be one, but he also is a top 150 player in the draft. So does he go? But then you look at Gavin Keelan and Chase Dolander, and you're like, man, if I go to Tennessee for a year,
right,
develop,
watch what it does to you,
become a dude. The money I'm going to make if I go there for a year is going to be insane. So, yeah. But it's also a risk a little bit, where if you don't have it, you drop, then you kind of lose that money. Are you willing to bet on yourself a little bit is what some of those players have to kind of juggle with. And I don't think there's no right or wrong answer. You got to do what's best for you.
Ask Chase Burns.
Yeah.
He's got all the answers.
And he's probably going to get called up soon. So,
yeah. See, it works out.
Yeah, both.
See, and it'll work out better.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the message.
He's not where he's at unless he doesn't go to Tennessee. So we had a hand in that development, not just Wake Forest. Got some more. Who is going to be the hardest player to replace next season?
It's got to be. Looking right now, it's got to be Liam Doyle, right? If you're looking for an ace and you need someone that's going to actually.
Yeah, it's probably Liam Doyle, but it's also probably Andrew Fisher because Andrew Fisher plays every single day.
Yeah, I get that. Obviously, I feel like it's maybe at Tennessee's level, it's not, but I feel like finding some.
And who's the leader next year? Could it be Hunter Inslee? Because you knew he was going to be the leader for you coming into the season. So, I
Yeah.
mean, who's your bona fide leader that everybody listens to and follows?
Maybe it's Jay Abernathy. I don't know.
It might be. I don't know. I don't know exactly. Again, like who's going to be back? Could it be a Dalton Barga who's kind of been there through it all? Could it be a Cannon Peebles? I don't think Reese Chapman comes back, but if he does, then you could see him being that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think Andrew Fisher, Hunter Inslee probably up there for me. Probably Andrew Fisher just for production, but also like losing Gavin Keelan's going to be tough to replace as well. Being at the top of your lineup, like that's a tough place to bat.
Yeah.
I want to see. I want to say Jay Abernathy replaces him at the top of the lineup, but you just never know.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it wasn't Gavin
I mean,
Keelan for a long time; it was Dean Curley, but
Right.
they kind of switched it up a little bit.
And then Fisher in that lineup too. I mean, that top heavy, it's going to be. I don't know. There's probably 4 or 5 guys right now that are going to be the most difficult to replace. Obviously, you can hopefully find some power and some fielding. Ideally, you find at least a semi-confident ace somewhat before the season and work it out once you get there. But the boys got some work to do.
Yeah,
That's all right.
I forgot to mention that Brady Frederick pitched against Tennessee when ETSU beat Tennessee. He pitched
1-0 against us. So
Yep. Yeah, so he likes pitching, and Lindsey Nelson. He pitched 3 2/3, had 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts against the Vols. So really solid outing from him. They end up winning that game 7-6. So
take some stones to walk into Lindsey Nelson on a weekday series, and 4 strikeouts on a team that was at the time we were pretty damn high on this team.
Mm-hmm. And I think it just being, I think it means a little bit more.
It does.
When those Tennessee guys like play for Tennessee, like it just means a little bit. Like it meant something to Drew Beam, Kavaris Tears, Hunter Inslee. Like it meant a little something more to those guys. Evan Russell is another one. Those guys just loved it.
Yeah. Well, when you get go ahead.
Well, they weren't the most talented guys,
but they had the heart.
But I mean, they were just dogs.
Yeah. Look, when you grow up going to Bearden or Farragut or Catholic or even further around here, and you go up and fall footballs or your Saturdays in the fall, and people around here know that it's a livelihood. There's got to be something special about being able to go produce your talents for that team that you grew up watching, even if it wasn't the baseball team at the time growing up. A lot of these guys, the Vols weren't good when they were growing up playing baseball. So, like, to be able to come full circle and be like, this team's won a national championship a year ago. I'm now going to go wear the orange I grew up wearing as a fan. And in my life's past kind of played out to where I've actually gotten this opportunity. I mean, it's got to be top 5 coolest things in the world. I mean, imagine – and that's where you get that heart, right? It just means more. Obviously, every player wants to come win, and every player gets dedicated to a team and the guys on his back and everything and the coach. But for it to have a full life meaning where it's like you're just a Knoxville guy through and through or East Tennessee guy, it just means more. Even those Middle Tennessee folks, I mean, it just means more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, every one of those guys, if you live in Knoxville, you dig far enough in your drawer, you find an old Tennessee T-shirt.
Dude, you've got a Wayne Chisholm signed damn headband or whatever, the sweatband they used to have. I mean, you got pictures with Bruce Pearl. I mean, you're living your childhood dreams out, which is sick.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it means a little bit more to those guys. And I want to end on this with college baseball. The face of college baseball. I took a lot of my mentions were blown up by Arkansas, Vanderbilt, LSU fans. Even some Mississippi State fans were in there. I'm like, what the hell are you doing here? You just want to be heard, I guess.
What's Vanderbilt doing there?
Yeah, I don't know. It's the one like sport that they're competitive in, so they feel like they have a say, but in reality, they do not. But yeah, I was like, win or lose, Tennessee is still the face of college baseball. And I don't regret that statement. I think it's true. I mean, you ask anybody any young kid growing up, watching college baseball, who are you paying attention to?
Yeah.
Who makes all the headlines? Good or bad?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't
who's
disagree one bit.
your team you're paying attention to? It's Tennessee, and they're like, oh, well, you haven't done it long enough. Who is the face of college football? Who do you think it is?
Right now?
Mm-hmm.
Shit. I mean, I don't know. I can't just pick one person or one team.
Yeah, you just pick a couple teams.
I mean, face right now, OSU's on an absolute heater. Notre Dame's, just a blue blood team of football, basically. Obviously, Georgia's still predominant.
Thank you. Georgia. They haven't had like years and years of just incredible success. It's been like 5 years, but they are the face of college football.
That's true.
Them
They are still
and
the face of
Ohio
college
State,
football.
and I'll give LSU credit. Like, they are up there with Tennessee. That is 100%.
Right. All right. So there's two different conversations there, though. Like, it's the face of a sport versus a known historic rival of the sport, right? Yeah, we can go to our Virginias, our Vandies and stuff, Texas for baseball. Like, yeah, okay, you got the history, you got the stuff. But if you're talking about the face of a sport right now, especially as the game adapts, it's more social media, it's more drama, it's more presence. You're right. It's like the teams in football. Yeah, you can throw back to Penn State, Oklahoma, Nebraska, all these you think about college football forever ago and have standed the test of times. Georgia hasn't really produced, and it will probably maybe have a lackluster season again this year. You go ask a kid, and it's like, oh yeah, Georgia. Like it's what LSU was 5 years ago. I mean, it's the same situation.
Mm-hmm.
LSU was no doubt the face of football for that little stretch there.
Right. I mean, they made the college football playoff like that. Just because like Tennessee didn't make it to Omaha. I mean, look how many teams it was the first time since like 1950 something that every single team from Omaha the year prior didn't make it this year, or
yeah,
at least one team didn't make it. And I mean that's just what kind of tournament this is. Like it's hard to get back every single year, but Tennessee has made the Supers the last 5 years. They've made Omaha in 3 of those. They won a national championship. Tennessee is absolutely a face of college baseball. And if you don't,
the national championship, it's like the buzz around the team. They're getting excited, and then it's almost like, all right, well, these guys need to get real and go win a national championship. And you go do that, and now you're kind of retained the face. And even this season, while a lackluster conference play, whatever's kind of finishing to the season that you want to call it, who's still the headlines about? Who's still the buzz? Who's Andrew Fisher comes into Tennessee, all cameras are on him. Like it's immediately kind of this. You can't say it's not I mean, I guess you can make an argument whether it's the phase of college baseball, but it's definitely like a phase of college baseball. You're right.
I mean, who's the hottest ticket? Like when they come to town, it's Tennessee.
This was the Tennessee Arkansas is the most anticipated matchup by a mile in the Super Regional. So you can't.
When Tennessee comes to town, it's must see TV.
No other 14-3
television or Tony Vitello. It's must see TV. So Tennessee is absolutely a face of college baseball, and if you don't agree, then you're a effing moron.
The stats don't lie. Ticket price, viewership, like outreach, influence, like it's all.
Yeah, I mean, there's kids like hitting a double at Bauer Field over here in Knox County or Sevier County, whatever county that lies on, right there at the line, and they are going on a knee and doing little Drew Gilbert still because Tennessee is a face.
Yeah, that's a dumb argument.
Yeah, I mean, I got absolutely blown up for saying that.
People are angry, dude.
Yeah, whatever. Just looking for a reason.
Yeah.
Tennessee did get some football times announced.
Yeah. Talk to me about KJ McLean. What are we looking at?
Yeah, we can go there. KJ McLean. Oh, I was gonna say like times, but yeah, we can go there. That's cool.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, Tennessee landed 3-star safety KJ McLean out of St. Joseph Regional in New Jersey. It looks like it was between us, Boston College, Duke was in there. 5'11", 165. Took his official visit last weekend and made the announcement he was going to go to Tennessee. So really good athlete. I think he transferred for his 2024. His brother signed with Ohio State, I think, in 2024.
Okay.
So I think he's still there. Yeah, he's still there. So hey, maybe a transfer portal. You ever heard of that?
Hey, let's do it.
There's always got to be an end goal. And I know that's not just like a KJ McClain isn't just a hot name. Tennessee's done really well with some DBs. Caleb Beasley's going to be one. Boo Carter's been good. Let's not forget Jermon McCoy. I mean, he was a 3-star wide receiver when he committed to Oregon State, and now he's one of the best DBs in college football. So let's just kind of wait and see on that. But Tennessee's got a big visit class coming in, or visitor list coming in this weekend. They got Faison Brandon. They got Tristan Keys. Tristan Givens will be back. I think Zach Groves will also be there. So I think Savion Hyder will also be in for his official visit. So a lot of dudes on campus this weekend. Was on campus last weekend. And I think the next weekend will also be a lot of visitors. So keep an eye out for that. Tennessee, as they make a run here in recruiting for football. And as we get some momentum before we get into the college football season, where we have some kickoff times announced, or I guess flex times announced. Before we get into that, guys, go check out hoviedrygoods.com. Use that promo code MORE for 15% off that first purchase. They got some hats coming our way. Looking forward to that. They got those new ones with the checkerboard. If you haven't got one of those, definitely need to go grab one. Just really good people over there. They can customize some hats for you and just do a lot of stuff that meets your head needs. I don't know if that's the right word, but anyway, go check them out. hoviedrygoods.com. Use promo code MORE for 15% off that first purchase.
Kickoff times, baby.
Kickoff times. I mean, they're not exciting, but I am kind of excited that we get a 12:45 home game, and that's the earliest all year long.
I mean, yeah, we got to expand. We got to be able to tailgate at 8 a.m.
Yeah,
especially against UAB. Come on.
Yeah, fired up for that. Let's just get September 20th out of the way, and then we got a flex for Mississippi State, and flex is going to be, I think, 3:30 to 8 o'clock, anywhere around in there. So it's definitely going to be an afternoon or night. Then you got Arkansas will be flex on October 11th.
I hope that gets tonight.
Yeah.
I think that needs some juice or get back.
You have Bama that will be a flex on October 18th. And then you have at Kentucky at night. Ugh.
Yeah, it's a little scary. But
then November 1st, you have Oklahoma. That will be a flex. That or Arkansas has to be a night game.
Yeah.
I hate that we don't know.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I would assume they aim for Arkansas just with a little bit more of now, granted, I've not looked at the matchups for October 11th or November 1st. So I don't know where it fits in the best in terms of college football schedule.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick one, I'm taking Arkansas for night game. I think the get back feels a little more personal.
Mm-hmm.
As we know, Tennessee likes to thrive at night. I think almost every single game at home last year was night game, which people have their opinions about it. It's fine, right?
Yeah.
But let's be honest. If you're trying to get the crowd riled up, if you're trying to build the atmosphere for a Saturday to get some get back, especially for like that Arkansas game. Now, granted, Oklahoma is going to be a massive game, but I just think Arkansas left such a bad taste in your mouth and storming the field. And just, again, don't ever let me go back to Fayetteville because I just don't want to. But that's one of those where you want to build it up all day, anticipate. And so that I would prefer that one the night game, but also depends how it
we play too many red teams. We play Georgia, Mississippi State, Arkansas, Alabama, Oklahoma, and New Mexico State. 6 teams that
6
have
teams.
like red in their.
Yeah. Florida
Color.
Orange gets pretty damn close, maybe 6.5. Syracuse is a little darker orange too, but
yeah, that New Mexico State game at 4:15 is kind of crazy.
yeah, that's just a random ass. Is that
I don't hate it because like
homecoming game?
should
be.
I don't know.
It definitely will be mid-November.
Yeah, probably.
Definitely not Oklahoma.
So maybe if it's a little chilly, that's probably nice that it's at 4:15.
A little bit of sun.
Yeah, I don't hate it. It's just a weird time. 4:15 is a crazy time.
Yeah, we talked
SEC
about
Network figured it out. Oh, that's definitely not going to start on SEC Network. It's going to start on SEC Plus.
Yeah.
And then when whatever games before them finishes up 30 minutes later, then we'll move to SEC Network.
I know I talked about it a couple weeks ago, but God, seeing 3:30 on there for Georgia feels so good. Feels so right.
Oh, yeah.
I'm ignoring the ABC. I see a circle and I'm squinting and pretending it says CBS, but God, it feels
What are you going to do this year for football games?
Man, I'm probably going to try to sneak in with student ID as much as at least give it one run. I didn't say that on live air just in case they do try to for that. For baseball, it's easy. Just, I mean, come on, you're flashing.
You just show it?
Yeah, you just flash it for standing room over in the students. So, I mean, that's, not an issue. I already locked in the student ticket for Syracuse. So, we're 1-0 for the football season with student ticket. Well, because we got it before I graduated. So,
oh, okay. I like that.
So, I don't know, man. I'm excited to jump into
Are you going to an away game?
We're going to do Mississippi State probably.
Are you? Okay.
Friend groups.
I'm thinking we might do the same. I want to do that. Even though, like, dude, if I swear to God, if we lose to Mississippi State,
that's the point where I'll stop traveling. You stop traveling for sure.
Yeah,
we just got to shut it down. You got to give it some time to recover.
Yeah, you lose to Mississippi State, you're in trouble.
That's what I mean. Starkville, I've never been there. Most of my friends haven't. It's like one of the last SEC spots that we want to get checked off, and should be.
How many have you been to?
I've only been to 4.
Okay.
4. But right? Yeah. 4 for football. Been to some other campuses for basketball, or it's only been basketball or just random visits. But I don't got a lot of reason to get out Starkville. So I'll let football take me out there.
Yeah. I think I've been to 5. 6. I've been to 6. I went to LSU.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it seems like a good away game. Alabama, Kentucky, and Florida is a toss-up. I mean, if I want to go – I mean, I've been to Bama and I've been to Kentucky. I really don't feel like –
Yeah, going to Kentucky sucks.
Yeah, for football.
At least Vanderbilt, at least it's Nashville. Like, Kentucky just blows.
No, and the bar scene lacks. And I will say Rupp was pretty cool, but Kroger does not pull the same weight. And did they rebrand? Are they still Kroger, or is it now? Isn't it like
was it Ingles?
Might be. It was something like that. I think they
I don't know. I
think they rebranded like us, like where it's like Kroger Field, but now it's something stadium.
Oh, okay.
I might be wrong though. But regardless, not very college football atmosphere. But that one's a night game, and it's on my birthday. So maybe I'll mess around and go Kentucky on a little last whim. So we'll see.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, looking forward to football season. This gets me fired up for tailgates.
I'm excited to tailgate, man, dude. I'm finally in tailgate culture.
Yeah. Yeah, you're finally old enough. Welcome.
8 a.m. can't come soon enough.
Yeah. Part of the breakfast crew. So we had a question. What's going to be the best tailgate? Call it now.
Georgia.
Okay.
I mean, because it's your best home game other than Oklahoma. Obviously, Arkansas, Oklahoma, you get to make the argument that, like, there might be a little bit more passion behind it. Just Arkansas, definitely. Oklahoma is really going to be a game that you want to go win and, like, kneel in effect. At that point in the season, you could be – I mean, it could be 6-2. Could be.
I can smell the barbecue smells just around the stadium now for that Arkansas game.
The Arkansas game is going to be pretty damn good. And I think the tailgate, the juice will be there. But I'm telling you, that 3:30 Georgia, man, it's your third week. You're hopefully
If
coming off
Tennessee beats Syracuse, I agree
Yes.
with you. If they lose to Syracuse, I think it has to be Arkansas
Okay.
just because of what
Yes.
happened last year.
If you're still undefeated, Georgia, if you've already lost to Syracuse, you're like, all right, this season's definitely shaping up to be 8-4. Let's just go take care of Arkansas, get our get back. I want bacon all over the place. I want hogs roasting. I won't go too far, but I want to see some pigs on some rotators.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to that just because we were both there at Arkansas last year and we want revenge. I know that whole program wants revenge as well. I just know there's going to be a slip up in this season.
What's your slip up? Give it to me.
Oh, dude, that Kentucky game it's in a bad spot.
It's a bad spot. It is a bad spot. This isn't 2 years ago when you just couldn't.
But they also suck. Okay, they got Zach Calzada for his 8th year of college football. That's another thing. I mean, Zakai can't get another year, but Zach Calzada is still playing freaking college football. Come on.
Probably the worst quarterback in SEC this year.
Yeah.
And Joey Aguilar has literally.
Well, Blake Sharpen might be at Mississippi State.
Yeah.
So.
But
and also, we don't know what the hell we got.
Yeah, I was about to say Joey Aguilar is a big toss-up. But in terms of all the away games, even Mississippi State, I'd rather to have a guaranteed night game. They're not getting up. They're not. It's not one of those campuses that's getting up for a night game. It's not gonna make a difference.
Yeah.
I just don't. Again, anything can happen. Arkansas, literally the worst tailgating vibes I've ever seen in my entire life. They knew they were getting ran over. Still pissed about the bars closing at midnight. I don't know any campus that does that besides Ole Miss. I'm not too worried about it, but again, definitely if in your first 2 games, but your first 4 games, you're definitely going to have a good idea of what this team looks like. So at that point, you're like, okay, if we're 2-2 after 4 games, you're probably looking at 7-5 because you're definitely losing Bama, Florida, and I wouldn't even call Kentucky a slip up at that point because you've probably just screwed the pooch and you're committed to 7-5.
I will take the loss to Kentucky if you beat Florida.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Tennessee doesn't lose to Florida in November. I don't know if that's true. I think the last time we did beat them was in the swamp was in November because of 9/11, right?
Oh my God.
So I'm all in on that. Like that's your game you win. Now your slip up, God, if it's Mississippi State.
Well, again, that's where we're getting into some dog days because at that point you could be 2-3. I hate to tell you, Landon, you could be 2-3. If you lose to Mississippi State, you could be 2-3.
I'm not going to wait to put Mississippi State until after Syracuse.
Our plans precisely. You go out and blow a noon kickoff in is it in the Dome?
Mercedes-Benz, yeah.
Yeah, I should know that.
Since you're going.
Well, I don't know. You purchase them for student tickets. You're not looking at the details. I'm not on Ticketmaster or anything. But
yeah, I'll be there. Just let me know.
Yeah, I'm there. $60 student ticket. Give it to me. I'll sit back up against the cold ass concrete. But it's scary because you knew it last year. I mean, first off, Alabama, Kentucky, or Alabama and Florida away is a gauntlet. I don't care what Alabama looks like this year. It's just not where you want to play, especially if that ends up getting flexed to a night game. And Florida's just, I'm honestly marking that as a loss right now, just until it's the second to last game of the season. So maybe the team does something that, convinces me otherwise. Maybe we're
a team that gets better. I don't know about you. I just have that feeling about it where I feel like we get better as the season goes on. I feel like Florida's not the same.
If we're 8-2 by the time Florida comes around, sure. I feel pretty confident. If we've beaten Syracuse, lost to Georgia and Alabama, but you've won everything else. You won Arkansas, you beat Kentucky away, you beat Oklahoma at home. If you're 8-2 going into Florida, I feel pretty solid. Because at that point, you're talking about let's finish out with two wins and let's go to the damn playoff.
Yeah.
That's a stretch. 10-2 is definitely a favorable outlook for the Vols. I'm thinking maybe more 8-4, but we got not that long of a postseason or off season to think about it, but it's good to see. I think it's a good slate. I'm excited to have maybe hopefully a couple more earlier afternoon games.
Yep. Yeah, going to be a fun football season. Looking forward to it, even though like we have no clue what we're going to get from this football team. But it's a new season, so it's time to be excited until they give us a reason not to be. So,
Yep.
Any more questions? Anything else?
Check the comments. I don't think so.
You want to do a little stupidity?
Yeah, I'm sure I've got something, dude. It's been a week.
I think we start with this one.
Okay.
The
are we
Grant
Yeah.
the Grant Ferking.
I wasn't sure we were going to speak on with that, so I was just going to.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Just what is this guy doing?
Got a clean
He's got to
record.
have a drug problem, right? And I know I'm being skeptical. I'm like,
right. I know what you're saying.
Being skeptical, but I mean, that's what it seems like to me. Who runs up that much in rent? It's like, nah. Like I don't even know if it's drug problem, because like drug problems, they'll stay wherever.
Just be a lifestyle problem.
They'll avoid rent, but they're not going to be like in a deep downtown Nashville. And
I was about to say, usually a solid crackhead just forgets having a house. They don't need rent.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what this guy problem. I mean, he went from like a great entrepreneur and had a really good job at On3 and doing all this stuff, and now he's just like he's a scumbag.
You know what though? Scumbag, but I commit if you're gonna do it, do it. Don't half-ass it. Don't sprinkle your fraud. Don't kind of, dabble in fraud. Like if you're gonna do it, balls to the wall. Have a decent cover up that lasts you a couple of years to have a game plan. Should have had an exit plan by now to maybe have a plane to Mexico on the way, but you can't. If you're gonna do it, do it. That's all I'm saying.
I love that he gets rid of this like business, and like 3 years later, he's like, "Hey, y'all need some pine straw."
It really is a ridiculous story.
What? I mean, some random guy is like, "Hey, man, I know you bought pine straw 3 years ago. You need some more? I got you." And some guy's like, "Oh yeah, this isn't fishy at all." But what random guy's calling up asking if you need pine straw? Also, is that not a thing? You can just go to a local state park and just...
Can you just gather pine straw?
Yeah.
Like it's everywhere. Just go find a couple pine trees, and it is...
I mean, if you really want to, if you're going to commit fraud, I mean, why don't you just do it, like you said, do it big, and hey, just like get a truck and go hook it to a, the 18-wheeler in the Lowe's parking lot and just take off with it and sell that.
Yeah.
I don't know. That it is insane. If you haven't got to read the article yet, I mean, basically former walk-on receiver Grant Ferking, is just running up rent in downtown Nashville, not paying it. And then he's going on like calling these random people and like asking if they need pine straw and basically getting payment for it and not ever delivering it, but because he doesn't work at the place he used to work at. It's an insane story. And come to find out, he's been an employee of the University of Tennessee for the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, it's a little worrisome. I hope that's a dead end and there's not much going on there. I know there isn't, but it's just kind of funny that they've kind of kept the status. It's probably just a missed paperwork thing, but keep that.
Yeah, very, very weird how, I mean, hopefully he kind of figures it out, but man, he looked like he was a millionaire before, like millionaires were huge in college athletics as a walk-on. And like, I mean, he had a successful business. He was going to work at On3. And then this comes out. It's like, man, what happened to you? It's one of those things where it's kind of like a celebrity story. Like you see this stuff happen. Like you're just like, man, what happened to you to like go off the rails like that? Like he had a pretty wife or girlfriend or whatever. And I mean, I thought he was super successful. And come to find out, it's like, dude, you just like shit on people.
Slanging that pine straw, baby.
Yeah.
I got to get into that industry.
Yeah, I know. That's shipping
I know.
freight.
Damn straight. We got a backup plan. That's all I'm saying. If AI takes over and we go bottom, the whole world goes belly up. Pine straw, AI ain't touching pine straw. So
No.
um,
Can you
that's
3D
a whole new avenue. Mulch.
pine straw?
I could sell acorns. I could sell
Mulch is way better than pine straw.
dandelions. Dandelions. You buy one dandelion, you can sell 1 million dandelions. You just work off one dandelion.
Yeah. The only thing worse than pine straw is sand. Like that shit gets everywhere.
Yeah, we could sell sand. You can upcharge sand.
Oh yeah.
You can just go to the beach and get how much you think a carry-on carries? Probably 50 pounds of sand.
Yeah. Start loading it up.
$10 a pound.
Hey, I mean, we don't even have to deliver it if you're doing the Furking route. You just
I'll just tell you,
hey, yeah, and you get payment.
Meet me at the beach, and I'll bring you unlimited sand.
And apparently, he was getting his girlfriend involved.
Yeah, we're getting a little Patrick Reed on the burner kind of vibes. I mean, she definitely maybe a little Jeremy Pruitt action.
Oh, sick. Scumbags, man. Just watch out for them.
Yeah.
Just stop answering the phone. If they want to call you, leave a message, then you know you can call them back. If they ain't got nothing good to sell. This is horrible for me, but AT&T comes to my house all the time. I'm like, bro, I already got AT&T.
You should get a sign that just says "Got AT&T."
And they knock on the door, and they knocked like a little funky knock. Like I was like, oh, it's somebody I know. So I peeked out. They saw me. Saw his AT&T, shut the curtain. Didn't go out and answer the door.
Just show your phone. Just be like, dude, AT&T.
Yeah, I got it.
Don't worry about me. My neighbor might need some help.
Yeah, it was. I hate when people knock on my door. It's like, dude.
I
know I live in a neighborhood and like
it happens.
Easily to walk, but man, is it annoying.
I don't know. Maybe put up the AT&T sign. I don't know.
Vince Morrow's gone from Kentucky, so I'm no longer Matt. I'm no longer worried about Kentucky.
What's that?
Vince Morrow, they're like, I mean, basically head recruiter, and
yeah, he went to
Louisville.
Yeah,
as a general manager. So, yeah, Kentucky's screwed.
I like that energy. Where'd it go? DraftKings came out with a list of hardest or easiest sports to go pro. So I'm going to run through these and you tell me. I'm just going to say the one that I think is stupid. Ice hockey 10, badminton 9, curling 8, 7 basketball, 6 soccer, 5 boxing MMA, 4 bowling, 3 track and field, 2 tennis, 1 golf. Wrong. Curling has to be easier to go pro than golf. I'll give tennis, boxing, soccer, ice hockey, basketball, yeah. Definitely harder than golf to get pro. But you're trying to tell me bowling and curling and badminton are harder than golf? Landon, you recently got bit by the golf bug about a year ago. You've gotten a lot better. You've made strides that I don't see usual casuals make. The difference between a pro golfer, even the guys that you go out and play with that like feels like you're playing with Tiger Woods, they wouldn't even hold a fucking candle to a tour player. So I've never seen an amateur curler, but I gotta imagine the gap is rather close. It's a broom and ice. I don't think it's that crazy. But those
the bowling one is crazy to me because like I'm decent at bowling and not good at bowling.
Right. And even like
you can be semi-athletic and be decent at bowling.
And it's also the like I feel like golf as a kid, like maybe that's what they're saying, but golf as a kid, you're either good or you're not. Like if you can't swing a golf club, brother, you're done. You can learn to roll a ball and put a little more spin on it. If you don't got the mechanics for a golf swing, out the window. Just try soccer, try basketball, try football, try something else. But in badminton, I don't even know how you play badminton. I just know that you hit a shuttlecock back and forth. I didn't know that there was a real athletic prowess to it. So we might have to do a Joey Boots, test us out. I might try to go pro in all 3 and see which one's the easiest. I don't know where I can do rolling around here. Maybe the ice chalet. I can maybe set them up on Wednesdays, but yeah, we might have to test that one out.
Did you used to play hockey?
No.
or
No,
skate?
should have. In a different life, I would have.
Okay. I know you're from up north, so
Yeah, most of my buddies did. I got the ankles of like a 7-year-old woman. So even when we played like roller hockey, my ankles just give out, dude. I need skates that go up to like my thigh. Otherwise, it's just
that'd be pretty hot.
we might have a business there. Just a little strip show ice hockey.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, we should start an OnlyFans.
Dude, might be on something.
There we go. Who needs pine straw, right? We got
See, there's so many better ways you can do this.
Yeah.
Could have been selling feet picks before you're selling pine straw.
Right. I have a stupidity. It's another Tennessee account. This was after Tennessee hired former All-SEC defensive tackle Marion Hobby, sorry. And now he's a defensive analyst. Some Tennessee account said, I think it's safe to say UT has Rodney Gardner's succession plan in place for whenever Rodney chooses to retire. This is why this is dumb. They are the same age.
When Rodney Gardner retires, we got to do the same age that's going to come in front of him in the next 20 years.
What? I just thought that was hilarious.
I mean, I get your point. If it was a head coach, sure, you're going to say, oh, Rick Pitino is going to fill in for Rick Barnes. Sure, that's one thing. Can't be like, oh, yeah, when Josh Heupel retires, I've got another, stout 50-year-old that's going to come. Like, if he's going to last 20 years, he's going to last 20 years.
Sure.
And I hope Rodney Gardner's not going anywhere.
No.
That was it for my stupidities. I luckily managed to avoid. I mean, I've ran into. Just kidding. Stupidity right now breaking. Former NFL star Antonio Brown wanted on attempted murder charge stemming from incident at celebrity boxing event.
Really?
So there's that. Yeah. Attempted murder seems a bit rash, but I wasn't there, so. And I don't want to say it's a stupidity. I mean, it's more of a CTE kind of thing. But, it happened.
What can you do?
Not much.
Yeah.
Shout out AB, though. Didn't kill a guy.
Shout out Bonstraw.
Soft landing.
Yep. All right, guys. Thank y'all for listening. If you get a chance, go ahead and check out our good friends at Grade A Grounds. Also, go check out our good friends at Roback.com. Use promo code More Important Issues for 20% off that first purchase. Congrats to our friend of the pod, Christian Moore, making it to the big leagues. He is the third player under Tony Vitello to make the MLB after being drafted in less than a calendar year. I think that's Ben Joyce and Garrett Crochet are the other two. So really good company. Big things ahead for Christian Moore. Also, a little fun fact, Zach Nato and Christian Moore are probably going to be the middle infield for the Los Angeles Angels.
Oh, hell yeah.
Also played in that the Knoxville Regional in 2022. Zach Nato played for Campbell.
Did Dolander not get called up within a year?
No, he got drafted in 2023.
Okay. Close.
Yeah, I mean less than 2 years.
Right. Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay.
So they have Halverson, Dolander, Beck, Crochet, Christian Moore, Ben Joyce. So Tony Vitello has 6 guys in the pros already.
In 7 years. So come to Tennessee.
Yep. We'll get you there. Thank y'all for listening. We'll be back on Sunday talking more about probably Tennessee and the transfer portal. Also, probably some recruiting news in football and just whatever else we got going on. Thanks again. Have a good weekend. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.